celebration. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Valentine.
And we are
Four Journeys. Look.
Four. Got the folds up.
Hi.
We're Four Journeys.
Four Journeys.
This is episode 12.
12.
Yes. Before I get into the episode details, I want to give y'all some need-to-know information. So, you can find us on TikTok at 4Journeys4. You can find us on Instagram at 4Journeys4. And here on YouTube, you can find us at 4Journeys. And Journeys is spelled Journies.
That's going to be a rap song.
Yes, it is. We're gonna have, next time y'all see us, we're going to have a little theme. We're going to be singing, rapping or something.
Yeah,
we're gonna be doing that. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, hey, welcome. If you are familiar with us, then welcome back. This is our last episode.
This is our last episode of the season.
Yes, season 1.
We've been started. Our first episode was in March of this year.
Yeah,
and we've come this far.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
It's really good. This episode is going to be good because we're kind of doing a backtrack.
Yeah. Of looking back on our journey.
Looking back on our journey. And we are, we've examined some of our content from before. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be addressing elephants that are in the room. We're going to be eating Wingstop. And we're going to be doing a little bit of drinking today. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to everybody who has reached out to me, who has reached out to us and expressed how you felt or how an episode may have affected your life or what it may have brought you through. I appreciate it. We appreciate that as a whole. We don't know if you don't comment. We don't know if you don't subscribe. We don't know if you don't reach out. We don't know. We're going through this journey together. And as we travel through this journey, we only ask that you support us. Any way that you can, comment and let us know what you think.
Yes. And please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Share, comment, subscribe.
Hey!
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Please, like, share, comment, subscribe. Please.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because, not the subscribing and things, it's hard for us because we don't have that background of famous. We're just two beautiful African American women who have experienced a journey of our own. And we're just trying to show you from our walk. Maybe it could help you. Maybe it could help others. Maybe, just help. So the supporting part and following us and bigging us up. It means a lot. So I just want to say, we want to say thank you in advance.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to check the camera right quick.
Okay, why don't you want to check it?
Because I just want to make sure it's good. My anxiety. Tyrese gonna clip this out. I just want to make sure. My anxiety. Y'all just don't know what we've been through. Okay, our journey has been a journey. We done had some mistakes and stuff.
We done had some cutoffs.
We done
recorded hours.
Yes.
And found out.
It didn't record. They only recorded a minute. So we,
So trust me, when we got PTSD.
We got PTSD. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you're getting out the mud. We don't have no team. We are the team.
It's just us.
So so we gotta make sure.
So
we gotta make sure it works.
So that's that.
I was on my way here. I was talking to my sister on the phone, and she asked me. She was like, "Do you like doing the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like doing it." And I was like, "I like doing it because it's not about money. I'm not doing this because I want money from it. I mean, it would be great if some income comes from this. Suddenly happens and it comes from this. I was like, but I like doing this because I feel like women, like if there is a me out there, there's someone else out there.
Yeah.
And I know I needed to hear other women that looked like me, that might have had a similar life like me, like not famous, working a 9 to 5, like married, has kids. Like I needed to hear someone like me that's not a preacher's kid, you know, like didn't or partially grew up in a 2-parent household. Like I just needed to hear someone like me speak about their life and speak about like how they get through, how they push through, if they made it, just to see that journey of them making it. So that's why I wanted to do this, just to be a voice for women, to show women that you can do it, you can push through, and you can do it the right way. You don't have to push through on the stripping pole. If you do, you do, but you don't have to do it that way.
Right.
You know, you can still do it as a single mother. You can have a life as a wife and a mother outside of being a wife and a mother. That's just a part of you, but that's not completely who you are. So I wanted to be a representation of that and be a testimony and be transparent so that other women can see that and know what it looks like. When I have hard days or a hard week, I don't get to hop on a flight. That would be nice. But celebrities get to do that. I don't get to do that. I might go through a whole year and might not have gone nowhere, but still can find joy in what I am able to do. So I just wanted to show that.
Yeah.
Show what that looks like.
I think for me, I think it's kind of similar to I think my journey, I think we all have different journeys. Everybody has a different walk. Everybody has a different purpose. It's how we tap into it. It's what our perspective or how we look at things. I will say this. I think my motivation for doing the podcast and what I love most about it is reflecting. I'm able to tell my story, but I'm able to also, I'm the narrator. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to tell you the story. And the process tell you the story, I'm able to look back on my story and see where I came from, where I am now. And I hear a lot of people say, I wish I would have done things different. I wish I was somewhere else. I wish I was further in it than I'm supposed to be, in a different place than I am right now. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at the exact time that I'm supposed to be here. And I believe that because my faith. I believe that God, I am designed to be right here, right now. Despite the journey that I've gone through, despite what I've endured, despite the struggles, despite the good, despite the bad, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I don't wish to be anything or anywhere other than where I'm placed. I think in this journey, that's what we forget. We forget to be grateful. We forget to just hold on to what we have right now and thank God. And you know, it's funny, Stephanie, because I was on a telephone Wednesday and one of my friends was telling me that his daughter, my friend's daughter was on Instagram and found a guy. Well, the guy was in Dubai. They tracked her, got her over there, sent her the flight money and everything, ended up raping her and killing her.
Wow.
This was Wednesday when he told me this. Said that the mom and dad begged her not to go, but what could they do? She was 21 years old, couldn't do anything. So they booked the flight or whatever, she got over there. They identified her body. She's been in Dubai for 2 weeks. They just called them on last Monday. My friend was telling me about it Wednesday. They killed her.
Wow.
They finally identified who the body was. And she was supposed to be back a week ago. Finally identified who the body was, and she's dead. And as he's telling me the story, I'm thinking, I should not be complaining about anything. Because this family, like many other families, have lost their children. People are sick. People are dying. My life could be so much worse. So who am I to complain? When I get up in the morning, I thank God. I am very conscious of my place in the world. You know, so I'm always grateful. Because at the blink of an eye, we were just talking about that. At the blink of an eye,
things can change.
Your life changes. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. No justification for it. We live and we learn, and you know, things happen. And I truly believe, you know, things will happen, and how we get up from it is so very important.
Yeah.
So I do the podcast, and I love doing the podcast because you're able to see my point of view.
Yeah.
I'm the narrator.
Yeah.
I'm the narrator of my story.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I love being able to help somebody.
Yeah.
If somebody can call me and say, Valentine!
Yeah.
That was so good. I'm like, what's it? You know, it puts a smile on my face. Another story.
Yeah.
So let me just tell y'all. So me and Stephanie have been going back and looking at our videos. Oh, and let me tell you this before we start. This is this much.
Because of her journey.
Because of my journey. And my week has been rough.
Yeah.
That's Stephanie's week. She
I've been okay this week. But next week, I don't know. I don't know what next week's gonna look like.
Okay. So, in the process of us doing this podcast, me and Stephanie decided that we would go back and look through our episodes. Pick out the things that we liked, picked out the things we didn't like. Just kind of review them. And my hometown is North Carolina. So one of the girls there made a comment and on the post when I talked about my dad, and that was the most important post to me. You remember when we did our individual journeys? That was the best for me.
Yeah. That
was the absolute best for me.
Yeah.
Because as scared as I was.
Yeah. That was episode, was it 4? I think it was episode 4.
I think it was.
I think it was episode 4.
There was the scariest because I was the most vulnerable. We're having to pick out our lives and actually tell you our stories. And I learned so much about you. I learned so much about Demetra. I learned so much about me.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the most important episode to me because I was able to kind of strip my clothes off and you see me naked. Well, in that story, one of the girls from my hometown made a comment on it. I don't think she made a comment on it. I think she sent it to me through Facebook.
Okay.
I think she did.
Okay.
So, she lost her son. And I didn't know her son, but I knew her son's father. And I often reference her father. The woman's son. I often reference his dad because his dad was a friend of mine. Well, is a friend of mine. Good guy. Lost his son with her and lost his other son by another woman in the same car that night.
Wow.
And those are the only 2 kids that he had.
Wow.
She had one and he had one.
Wow.
So they lost. So she reached out and she was like, Valentine, thank you for telling me your story. You know, and when she started telling me her story, I knew I didn't know her personally, but I knew the story. I knew the story because it touched so many of us because we knew the guy.
Right.
We knew the guy. Like we grew up with it.
Right.
So I think that was the best episode for me because it was the first time that I actually seen that comment and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
This is going to be great.
Yeah.
This is going to be amazing. As scared as I was recording this, it helped so many people. You know, so I think that was the first one that I liked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the least one that I liked. I don't think I've had a least one.
I don't think I've had a least one. I think even if I found like little things about it, I think I still enjoy the content. The episode that you're speaking on, episode 4, one thing I liked about that episode was listening to you talk about your journey.
Oh,
I can tell when you speak from experience. Like you speak like you're telling your story, and I think that is so great. That is great because you're able to. It shows that you're learning. It shows that you've learned. Your story doesn't sound all mixed together. It shows that you've grown from it. You've learned. You know.
Yeah.
At that episode, I felt like I was pulling off layers. You know, I was pulling off layers of fear.
Yeah.
So saying something that I've never, talking about something that I never talked about out loud to someone other than my husband, it was different.
I can imagine.
Anytime you're doing something new, it's going to be different. It's going to be, you have to put yourself out there.
And that's the thing, you're exposing yourself to what people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're putting their impression on you. So that's even more scary.
Yeah.
Us being vulnerable.
Yeah.
To allow somebody to strip us and we show who we are, it gives them the opportunity to judge us.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be judged.
Right.
Nobody has the right to be judged.
Yeah.
Nobody is in a position where you can judge me, but however, people do it.
Yeah.
So, you're left with that aspect of it, the being judged. And I think that was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
Is how are people going to perceive it? But more importantly, how am I going to come across? When I tell this story, let me get it out the way it is and allow people to see me at my vulnerable state. And that's always scary.
Yeah. I think I told my story in hopes that it would help people understand me more.
Oh yeah.
Because people do judge you. People do have an assumption of you. They think you're already a certain way. So I hope that when I tell my story, it makes people second guess what they originally thought about me. And another thing I love about this podcast is that going back to the girl that died in Dubai, social media paints it lifestyle for people. One, for women, it thing is go to Dubai, get you a Dubai man, become a housewife. It life. You go to Dubai, there's a place, black people want to go. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. Like, there are things that social media present as it lifestyle. And I love this podcast so much because I feel like we are representing women being themselves and being okay with being themselves and loving theirself as theirself, not trying to live an it lifestyle, trying to live a lifestyle that works for us. Even in the episode 4, as I was listening to it, I remember me saying that no, it wasn't episode 4, it was episode 6 we did with Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 6.
Yeah.
I was listening to that episode, and I remember when I was speaking about going through a hurt season in my life and just not knowing how to handle hurt and not seeing it being handled as I was growing up. It wasn't that I didn't see it being handled. I didn't see it being handled in a way that worked for me.
Right.
So I found my way that worked for me. And I think that's important with this podcast because it's all about finding what works for you.
Right.
Your journey.
Right.
Your journey. Doing what works for your journey. You. Not what you've seen growing up. Those are good. Take out the good. Throw out the bones. Not what social media tells you. Take out the good. Throw out those bones. But what works for you.
Right.
What works for you. Episode 6 taught me how to be grateful. Grateful was one thing that stuck out to me with episode 6. Like, listening to it, all I can just say is I'm grateful.
Yes.
Like I'm grateful because there is going to come a time where I might lose my husband or he may lose me first. And just listening to her talk about that loss and what life was like for her before that, it just made me say, man, I could stand to be more grateful daily. Even when I have bad days, even when I have bad moments, bad week, being grateful, it's not gonna hurt me.
Yeah, and I think too, it's the way we look at things. Although, Cam is having a hard time, even now getting up, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand it. We all deal with death. But most importantly, we deal with death how we deal with death.
Right.
Everybody does not grieve the same.
Right.
Everybody, she said to me a couple of days ago, she was like, I just thought I would be in a better place by now.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Cam?
Yeah.
I'm like, Cam, what does that mean? She was
Yeah.
like, I just thought that, it would be better by now.
Yeah.
What made you think that?
Yeah.
4 years for me. My dad's been gone. And I told her, I said, some days are really, really good.
Yeah.
Some days are really, really bad. And I'm 4 years in.
Yeah.
And I wake up some mornings and don't even want to get up out of the bed.
Yeah.
And your husband is still so fresh.
Yeah.
It's his death is so fresh.
Gotta give us some grace.
Why do you think you would have been in a different place than you are now? We grieve how we grieve.
Yeah.
We time. I think time. I wouldn't necessarily say time heals all things. What I will say is time helps.
Yeah.
With the healing process,
Yeah.
as long as you're moving forward, because time sometimes can go and you're still in the same spot and you're still stuck in that rut. With time, you've got to learn to not only accept it but learn how to thrive in it, along with the time. Because time will come and go, and if you don't learn how to grab yourself up, hold on, and just grieve as the time goes on, learning how to take it one day at a time, learning how to, it's okay to cry, like you said, allowing yourself grace, allowing that to not so much consume you, but knowing it's okay for me to be where I'm at.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's, my heart cries for anybody that has lost. I used to look at Facebook, and this is when both my parents were living. I used to look at Facebook and Instagram, and I used to see children, kids, people, and they would have lost their loved ones, and I would think, I can't sympathize.
Yeah.
Because that's never happened to me.
Right.
I don't understand that. But then when I walked a mile in their shoes and I see a post now, I understand it.
Yeah.
I empathize because I too am dealing with the exact same thing. I too am dealing with it in my own way. Do I cry every day? No, I don't cry every day. But every day I think about it. And every day I wish he was here.
Yeah.
And I think I told you this in episode 4. I used to, my dad, even after 20 years after his mom after his mom had died, we would have a conversation.
Yeah.
And we would talk about her. And you could see the tears. And I thought, after 20 years, he still grieves.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Because I never had a loss that great. I understand it now.
Yeah.
I think it's learning to be okay, because death is inevitable. It's coming for all of us. It doesn't matter how rich you are.
Yeah.
Don't matter if you light skin or dark skin. It don't matter if you're tall or short.
Male, female.
It does not. It happens.
Yeah.
And we grieve.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. What has this journey taught you about business?
I do none of the business. I do none of the business part. That's the wrong question. That's not the right question. So you didn't mean to ask.
That's not the right question for you?
No. I don't do any of the business.
Yeah. Or even just just being in a business, being a part of the process of the journey of wanting to start a business. the process of wanting to start something that eventually you are expecting income from. You know, like the expectations of what it looks like, or
hard.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned from it.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Which I came in knowing that it would be.
Yeah.
Stephanie, this shit is hard. Y'all, I'm so serious. Is it worth it? Yes. Mm-hmm. But what I've learned about the business part of it is it's tedious. You have to work. You know, we're trying to learn how to advertise. We're trying to learn marketing. We're trying to learn how to budget. We're trying to learn how to buy things. We're trying to figure out what camera to buy and what's the best camera to buy. The business portion of it is hard because a lot of times we don't know what resources we have. Yeah. You know, we're not rich, you know, so like Stephanie said in the beginning, we're on a budget. You know, we had no blueprint for this. We had no help. You know, we are figuring this out as we go.
Right.
There's no Beyonce behind our name or Tyler Perry or you know, we're not millionaires. No. So everything that we do business wise is coming out of our pocket, and we're normal people with normal jobs with normal families. Right. And we don't edit. Tyrese edits for us, so that's a cost. Yeah. You know, we go into the studio, that's a cost. We go to seminars, that's a cost. And that is coming out of our pocket. Yeah. So the business portion of it is no fun. Yeah. And we're still learning about the business portion of it. Yeah. Will we get better? Yes. If I had one word to choose, hard. Business portion of it is hard. Yeah. And I am thankful. I am thankful that I have you, honey, because let me tell you this. I do not know. Yeah. Stephanie is savvy. She should have been an accountant. Not me. I don't know nothing about the business. What do you think is the hardest part?
I think the hardest part is, I think trying to work through things. I think that's the hardest part for me, trying to work through things. Because I know when you're in a business, and if you're going to be in a business with someone other than yourself, you know, you have to work together with trying to figure out things. And we work well together, but I'm always concerned of, I don't want it to get to the point where we're not working well together. Because if it does get to that point, then what we gonna do? You know, like you see relationships.
Do you really see us not?
I don't know.
What could possibly go wrong, Stephanie?
Don't say
that. I'm so serious. Don't knock on wood.
I don't know.
Really, I want to know. What could possibly go wrong, Stephanie?
I don't
Our temperaments. Really, what could go wrong?
I don't know. I think I look at Megan, Ashley, and B. Simone. And they had, I'm assuming, such a good friendship prior to them starting a podcast together, prior to them getting into business together. You know, and now they're no longer friends, and they're no longer working together, and all of this stuff. And it just makes me wonder, because there's going to be some type of conflict in any type of relationship, and we're both on different journeys. So I wonder if it gets to that point, if we get to where we not seeing eye to eye, we're having a hard time agreeing.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry, Stephanie, for whatever I did.
Or we don't like the way the other person did something. Will it be just a separate conversation? Like, I don't know why you did that. I didn't like that. Or would it just be?
But that's the thing, though.
You know,
we don't have that personality. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, we don't have that personality where we're going to go to bed and be angry with each other and not discuss it. We're Capricorns. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If nothing else, we communicate pretty well, even if it's hollering and screaming. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think the most important part, we talked about this, I think the most important part about a friendship is accepting this person's flaws. Yeah. Understanding. You have boundaries. My grandmother used to say all the time, to love you, I can't love you in slices. Yeah. I have to love all of you. Right. Whether that's the good, the bad, the ugly, the flaws. That's it. I think as a friendship, in any relationship, man, woman, whatever it is, friendship, there is a level of honesty,
right,
that has to be at the forefront. It has to be.
Yeah.
And I don't mean honesty within the relationship. I mean honest with each other.
Right.
You honest with you, and I'm honest with me.
Right.
Understanding my behaviors.
Yeah.
Seeing my flaws for what they are. And I'm coming to the table to you saying, Stephanie, this is Valentine.
Yeah.
Either you can accept it or you can't.
Yeah.
You chose to accept me. Accepting me means you accept everything that comes with Valentine.
Right.
So I think for so many of us, we get into relationships with these unidentified expectations. They're not talked about.
Right.
They're not discussed.
Right.
We're secretly having these expectations that nobody knows about. So I enter into this relationship. First of all, I'm not honest.
Right.
I'm not honest first. But then I have these unrealistic expectations for a person that I never discussed with.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
When I walked into this podcast, I told you, when we talked about it, I told you what my expectations were.
Yeah.
I told you what I felt. We were already friends before. You accepted me as a friend. You knew my flaws. You know me. And although you're still learning me, you accepted me as a friend.
Right.
That started with trust.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. So as we move into this journey of friendship, we learn a little more about each other. Is there something about you that I don't like? Yep, it is. And I told you that. I told you I didn't like, that you allowed people to walk over you and you didn't stand your ground when you was at the office. Am I honest? Yes. Because I can't be in a relationship. And I'm not. That's not fair to you if I'm sitting harboring ill will against you and you don't know it.
Right.
Trust.
Right.
Is the number one thing in a relationship. But it's not so much as me trusting you. I have to trust myself with you.
Right.
So I just feel like we enter in things not fully understanding us.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the other person. The elephant in the room. Denitra is no longer with us. And me and Stephanie talked about this, how we would present it. And Denitra is no longer with us because we didn't mesh well. I think she was in a different place than we were. I think that she didn't value what we had. And there were some things that was said that I didn't like. There was some comments that was made that I didn't agree with. And overall behavior was poor. She may say the same thing about me. That would be her opinion, as mine is mine. What I will not allow in my 48 years of living is for me to pour into someone who not only cannot receive the pouring, but cannot pour in back into me. I've never been like that. I'm never going to be like that. She has her journey, and I have mine, and I think it was a conflict of interest. And I feel that she was just on a different path, and that's okay. We all are searching for our purpose. We're all on a different journey. We're going in different ways, and that's okay too. I will say this. I'm happy that she was a part of it when she was a part of it. And I'm also happy that she's gone. And that's just me. We live and learn, and I've learned a valuable lesson behind it. And that's that. Do you want to comment on it? Do you have something to say about it? Did I say something wrong?
I think, like you said, we have our own path and we have our own journey. And sometimes we have our own purpose too. And sometimes that path of getting to our purpose requires conflict, requires ending relationships, requires financial loss, requires loss in general, requires having difficult conversations. It requires a lot going through that, going through your path, going on your path to purpose. And I think that she's on her path to her purpose. And maybe her path was to briefly be a part of this for a lesson for the two of you. And that was just that. I think we also the freedom of choice dictates what that purpose looks like.
Absolutely.
It dictates how you get to your purpose, the bumps in the roads and the things like that that may take place. But that's all I would have to say on it. Like we all have a purpose, and I think that I'm always a firm believer in things can always go a different way.
Yeah.
You know, things can always end on a better note. But I do understand that no matter how much you mean well, it may not be received well. And no matter how much you try to make it end well, it still might not end well, because both parties have to be on the same mindset of understanding, the same mindset of, I want this to end well. Let's get some clarity. You know, like I've had situations or friendships where I've stepped away from the friendship intentionally, not because of anything wrong with the people, but just because of me.
Yeah.
And to them, it may look like it was just a ghosting, or I just cut them off, or I just, let them go. But I also feel like at that time, I didn't have the language to explain to you what was going on with me.
Right.
I didn't have the language to have that conversation to where it could end well. Because I feel like no matter what I would have said, it would have came off wrong.
So let me ask you this. Did you value the friendship?
Yes.
So, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
If you value the friendship, why would you not want to express where you're at in your journey and the capacity of which you can withstand this relationship?
I think because me valuing it did not, let me make sure I say this good, where I was and how I communicated, me not having the language and how I handle things was just like, I don't know what to do about this. I feel like this, I'm going through this, I got this going on. So my way of solving problems then would just to be walk away from it. So it wasn't
so it didn't have anything to do with the friendship, it had everything to do with you.
It had everything to do with me.
Okay.
So that's why I say no matter what I would have done, I don't think it would have ended well, because I didn't have the language. I didn't know how to handle it. It was a me thing, not another person's thing. Like I feel like I think to one friend, I tried to explain, but it just to me sounded wrong. It just came off wrong. It just came off like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. It just came off with, to me it came off wrong, and I didn't want it to come off wrong. And maybe it was, I tried to control the situation too much, control how they heard it, because I felt like no matter what, they would have received it, how they received it, because of where they were.
Right.
Right. But I felt like because of where I was, I wouldn't have said it right. Okay. So that's just like it's just a learning lesson for me, that no matter what, there's still a way to communicate it. Absolutely. And there's still a way to say it, and say it without the expectation of somebody's getting it. Right. Just saying, hey, this is the best I can say it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it to you, but this is the best that I can say it. It was definitely a learning opportunity for me when it comes to speaking on how I feel about things and confronting people, having those difficult conversations.
Right.
I was one that I don't like conflict. I don't like anything that's gonna end badly.
I don't mind it.
I don't like it. I didn't
It's because you're still young.
Maybe because I'm still young, but I don't like it because I want everything to end well. But things are not going to end well. So I'm learning on my journey that things are not going to end well. So and I'm learning to have those difficult conversations and how to have those difficult conversations and be comfortable
with having those difficult conversations
because I'm not one that is comfortable.
I'm very comfortable with difficult conversations. I'm probably too comfortable. But what I will say this though, Stephanie, I am not quick with it as I was 20 years ago. Yeah. I've learned to select my battles. I don't care how it ends. That's just me. Yeah. And I think that's because the people that I have in my circle right now are the people that I have in my circle. Yeah. Period. Yeah. You know, I'm in a good spot. I tell everybody that. I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good space. So everybody that's in my circle right now is in my circle. Will I have people that I meet along the way that I'll learn from? Yes. Will there be people along the way that I have conflict with? Yes. Will there be people that I come in contact with that have bad intentions? Yes. But to get into my circle now, you probably will never. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's only because I have everything I need. Everything that I need, I have. Yeah. So I think for me, because my circle is already there, my circle is already built, will there be people that I come across that can help me, that can build me, that can, yes, there will be. But will not be a part of my circle because my circle is so intimate now. And I think that's the part that I learned with losing Denitra was everybody's not meant to be in your circle. No matter how much you want them to be, no matter, you know, what you see in them, some people were just not meant to be in your circle. And is that okay? Yes. Yeah. It just is for me at this age. Shit happens. And with it happening, I hold no ill will. Right. My life will go on. Her life will go on. And we'll live. I wish the absolute best for her. I hope that she succeeds in everything that she does. To be friends with me again, no. That's a no for me. Crossing in paths, I throw my hand up and say, hi, how you doing? But as far as friendship, no. I'm a person that values friendship. Yeah. And I'm very critical when it comes to how you handle me in a friendship. Because I'm very critical in how I handle you in a friendship. So for me, that part of my journey is over. Yeah. I wish not to argue back and forth because I don't care. Yeah. I wish not to comment on the ugly things that she said because I don't care. I just don't. Yeah. I don't have the energy to put into something that's so minute to me. Means absolutely nothing. 5 years from now, when I look back on this, it won't mean a whole lot. Right. So why pursue it, or why spend so much time, thinking about it?
I think one thing about this, another thing about this podcast that I love is that it shows you're on a journey where you know the type of people you want are in your circle. I'm sure before you got to this place, you were on a journey of figuring out the type of people you want and needed as well. Yes. I'm on a journey where I'm figuring it out. Yeah. You're on a journey of knowing that. Right. I'm on a journey of figuring it out. Right. And I think that's what this shows. Yeah. That you can be on different journeys and still
respect one another. Yes. We can be on different journeys and still love one another. We can be on different journeys and we can still effectively communicate with each other. Yeah. We can be on different journeys and we can still get mad at each other. Yeah. But the point of it is you have to allow that room for that person to fail, for that person to make a misstep, for that person to love, for that person to get it wrong. You have got to extend trust and let them know, like, listen, even if you're going through this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm 10 toes down.
Yeah.
So if you can't talk to me today,
Mm-hmm.
then understand I'm not upset with you because
Right.
you can't talk to me today.
Right.
Because you're going through something and you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to express it. I'm not going to pull it out of you.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow you the space.
Right.
That when you're ready to come to talk to Valentine,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to come and talk to me. And guess what? If you don't,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make me any less trustworthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
doesn't make me trust you any less.
Yeah.
I know you, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
And with me knowing you,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned you.
Yeah.
I've accepted you.
Yeah.
So with that saying, I know that you are, I know in the process of me learning you,
Yeah.
you've learned me.
Yeah.
And because we love each other, because we respect each other,
Mm-hmm.
there is a fence there that allows us to stay within proximity of each other and still respect
Mm-hmm.
each other.
Still respect each other's boundaries.
And trust each other's
Mm-hmm.
boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have chose a better partner
Mm-hmm.
if God would have sent you himself.
Yeah.
I couldn't have chose a better partner.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have chose a better partner because you are easy to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You are kind. You are ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
You are knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You are willing.
Mm-hmm.
And you are trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in a friend that I could imagine, you possess.
Mm-hmm.
So if there comes a time when we disagree, and I'm not saying that we won't,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we will be able to come to a reasonable
Right.
resolution for it,
Right.
even if we don't agree.
Right.
And that is what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't agree,
Yeah.
we're gonna respect each other,
Yeah.
and we're gonna figure it out
Mm-hmm.
how to make it beneficial for the both of us.
Right. How to make it work.
Even if I have to sacrifice
Mhm.
and say, okay, Stephanie, I'll let you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you have to sacrifice and say, Valentine, I don't agree with it, but let's try it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the part of the trust in the relationship
Mm-hmm.
that I thrive for.
Yeah.
If I can't trust me,
Yeah.
I definitely can't trust you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I can't trust you, then we definitely got a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
trust that whatever decision I make,
Mm-hmm.
that you'll support me and say, Valentine, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
chastise me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and say, Valentine, we're not doing this. It's the pattern that we have between each other
Right.
that makes it the friendship
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people lack in a friendship. I don't have many friends.
Yeah.
My circle is extremely small.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's because I chose
Right.
not to.
Right.
I don't like catty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like bickering. I don't like gossip. I don't like it. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
friends.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't
Yeah.
know if that came in my older age with dealing with so many petty women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the arguing and the fussing and the going back and forth, and you're envious, and I don't even know it. You know, and I just don't.
Yeah.
That's not my journey, Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, we all got to get there. I just choose not to have a lot of women around me.
Yeah.
That's what my choice was.
Yeah.
Regardless if anybody likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think relationships are important.
Yeah.
I just don't have many.
Yeah. Relationships are important. I think part of not having many also comes with knowing you and knowing what you need to replenish you. Some people need to be surrounded by a lot of people to replenish them. Some people don't. Some people can only have, it's okay with only have one person, one friend they talk to. Some people don't. Some people need multiple. Not everybody knows. You know, it differs for people.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that is okay.
Yeah.
And I think it is okay, and it's okay, and it's important for people to know that part of themselves, what they need.
Yeah.
You know, before they're entering into any type of friendship, what you need,
Yeah.
what moves you, what motivates you. Because if you don't know, you're not going to be good in your relationship. And that's speaking from experience. not knowing what moved me, not knowing what I needed, and not knowing what I liked and wanted, caused me just to accept anything, just to be a part, you know? So it's,
My dad used to say, Pumpkin, Valentine, everybody wants something. Your job is to figure out what they want.
Yeah.
And are you willing to give it?
Yeah.
That's been a staple of my life. Let me tell you why. Because it's so true. Nobody ever comes into your life wanting to give.
Yeah.
Not naturally.
Yeah.
And if you do meet them, and I'm sure there are few and far between that do it, everybody wants something.
Yeah.
For me, it was always with my guard up, trying to figure out what it is that you want, what you want from me. Am I capable of giving it to you?
Yeah.
And I had to be quick-witted. You know what I'm saying? Because so many times you get into a relationship, and don't get me wrong, I want to be used, but I want to be used in the right way.
Right.
I don't want to be used in the wrong way.
Right.
I think it's all about being used. So a lot of times we jump into these relationships, and one, we don't know who we are.
Right.
We don't know what we have to offer. We don't know what we're given.
Right.
We don't know our boundaries. We don't know. So we end up getting into a relationship and not only losing ourselves, but giving more than we should have given, and being used.
Just lost.
And in the wrong way.
Just lost.
I'm saying. So I had to be quick-witted.
Right.
You know, and learn quickly, what is it that you want? Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
And I'm
gonna see if I can give it to you.
Right. And if I can't, it's no need for this to go on. You know what I'm saying? So I think when entering into a relationship, key is you knowing who you are. I will say that until I am dead and gone. I will not enter into anything. I am not going to a battle unequipped. I'm not walking into a battle and I'm unequipped. I can't walk into a relationship and I'm unequipped. If I don't know who I am, what is the point of me being there?
Oh no, I'm showing you. I'm showing you. I don't know what you're gonna get. I don't know what you're gonna get. I don't know what I'm gonna give you. There's no telling what I'm gonna do if I don't know who I am. What I'm gonna be down for. What am I gonna say? You know, like, and I've been there where I look back and I'm like, why did I say that? Ooh, I sound stupid. Ooh.
It's
you know?
It's just like us going through those eras of clothes.
Why did I wear that?
We didn't know who we were.
No.
We were following trends.
Yeah.
We were doing, we were young.
Yeah.
The trends come in. We're wearing what everybody else is wearing. We got our hair like everybody else is wearing. We're wearing the same shoes that everybody else is wearing. And then we look back on the picture and you be like, what the was I thinking?
People follow trends in friendships too. In relationships. Do they follow trends in relationships? So that might be why a lot of them don't work, because it's trending.
You don't know right. You don't know who you are.
Right.
You don't know what you bring to the table.
Right.
You don't know what's happening.
Right.
You don't know. You're just following it because it feels good. Because you don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your butt, but you in it.
Right.
Knee deep in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that all the time. You know, figure out who you are first.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who you are, how the hell are you gonna know what you want?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to enter into any relationship.
Yeah.
Any relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about only
business, friendship, whatever.
You have got to know who you are. Period.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who you are, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
At every turn.
Yeah. It makes me think about like a pack of lions. You know, it's a pack. Everyone, the lionesses, some of them, they might look the same. Some of the lions may look the same. They're in a pack, but each one has a role and know their role.
And know.
And know their role.
And know.
We can learn a lot from animals. We can learn a lot from animals. They know their role.
They know their role.
They know their role.
That is so important to know your role.
The role you're playing. Some friends and some people come into your life, and it might not be a forever role, a forever position. It might be a seasonal position. It might be on occasion.
You temporary.
Yeah, it might be temporary.
Mm-hmm.
And temporary might not mean this is a temporary job, temp to hire. Temporary may mean
let me get you through what you need to get through
right.
at that particular time.
Right. Or you get me through something.
Yeah, temporary is not always bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
But you know the role that you're playing for that particular time.
Right.
So
right.
if you know the role that it's temporary, then you play that temporary role.
Yeah.
Or allow that temporary role to play you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So when that temporary role is over, you hold your stance in who I am. I knew this is what it was. I accepted this for what it was. And when it's over, and when I've served my purpose, I'm going to go on
by my business.
And I'm going to still be me.
Yep.
And when whatever is next for me, I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? We get into these temporary roles, and because we don't know ourselves, we make it a lifetime.
A permanent position.
A permanent position when you were only meant to be there temporary.
Yeah.
You was just contracted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you're not learning.
Because
you're not intentional. You know, I know we were talking about if people live their life knowing I am on a path to my purpose, and every person I encounter, I'm encountering them for a reason. What is their reason? Is this person just here to be a good time while I'm going through a hard time? Is this person here to assist me through my hard time? Is this person here to go along my path with me, my journey with me to my purpose? Is this person supposed to be part of my purpose? Everybody that comes into your life plays a role. They come into your life for a reason. Was I supposed to just pass this person by on my way to my purpose? I wonder how the world would be if everyone just thought that way. You know, moved intentionally, live life intentionally. It makes me say, you know, that's possible because God created it to be possible. Our choice and our free will makes it not possible, makes it difficult. How can we get to a point to where if you're here now and you're listening and you have kids, you can make it possible for you where you are now, however old you are, and then for your kids, so they can show that to their kids, and then their kids can show that to their kids. How can we make that? How can someone make that possible?
How perfect the world would be. That's what I like to say. How perfect the world would be if we loved like children love. If we saw through the eyes of children, where there is no discrimination, there's unconditional love. And if we could only imagine how perfect the world would be. But it is not, and half of the time when we meet people, we may not even know what the purpose was when they came. We'll know after. Sometimes we don't. We just know that they were there and now they're gone. Life is fickle. You know, it is most definitely worth living. But it's short. It's short. And some of us never really fully see the potential of life until it's too late.
To their deathbed. And they're wanting to make those calls and wanting to see people and wanting to apologize. You know, I always wonder when someone passed away, did they get to right their wrongs? Did they get to make things better, make peace? You know, like, did they figure it out? You know, like, you know, did they get to figure it out? Were they learning?
That's funny that you say that, because I think about that all the time. You know, like, I'd be like, I wonder, did they right their wrong? I wonder, did they make peace with whatever happened, or whatever was said, or whatever was done? Did you make peace with it?
You know, episode 6 also taught me that some things in life that we deal with, or that that's a problem for us can be so petty.
Oh God,
it can be so petty.
Mm-hmm.
It can be so petty and so not worthy
Mm-hmm.
to discuss, to mention, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad that until someone is gone, that's when you realize, I didn't have to say that.
Right.
That wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I could have not said nothing.
I could have bit my tongue.
I could
have chose a different word.
Yeah.
You know, my thing now is, and I bruise you easy. I think that's a part of the Capricorn. My mouth is slick.
Mm-hmm.
I went to kill. I went in to kill
Mm-hmm.
constantly. And my dad used to say all the time, once it's said,
Mm-hmm.
it's said.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change that.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot take it away. Once you bruise that person with your words,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how many times you say you're sorry.
Yeah.
It's there.
The bruise is there.
It's there. The
Mm-hmm.
content is there.
Mm-hmm.
It will remain. I've learned to select my words
Mm-hmm.
and understand that it's not all about me bruising you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to decide, you have to make a choice
Mm-hmm.
and say, is this really worth my peace?
Mm-hmm.
Is this really worth me,
Mm-hmm.
chopping you down?
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
Right.
That's just not me anymore.
Yeah.
Will I say some slick stuff? Yes. But to intentionally bruise,
Yeah. Yeah.
caught me 20 years ago, might would have said a different story.
Yeah.
Might would have said something different. But
Yeah.
now, what I tell you before, your opinion on me, I don't care.
It don't matter.
It,
Mm-hmm.
it is water under the bridge.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not living for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 children, my family, my friends,
Mm-hmm.
they know me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
I don't deal with people.
Yeah.
Just people.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I think I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I am getting there.
You will, Stephanie.
It's hard for me.
It's supposed to be.
Because I always and not that you don't see the best in people, but I'm always hopeful of people.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm always hopeful of people. And I'm always hopeful that they didn't really mean it like that. You know, or and sometimes they do mean it like that. A lot of times they do. You know?
A lot of
times they do.
Yeah.
People are cruel.
Oh
People
my
can be
God.
cruel. We can be cruel to each other. And not everybody practice biting their tongue. Not everybody practice, not hurting people's feelings.
Okay.
Not just saying the first thing. Some people feel entitled to say, I don't like this about you. I don't like that. I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
Some people feel entitled to do that. Not everybody holds back. And so I'm learning that, and I'm learning to, accept things for what they are.
Accept things for what? Let me tell you
Accept
something.
things for what they are.
That is a story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting things for what they are.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's hard because you can say it all day long. I accept this didn't work out. I accept it. But what happens when you're in a relationship with somebody? You really like them. They really like you. And for some reason, things just seem off. It's not working. You don't know why. They don't know why. Something's just not working. You get into it and things just not working. And that accept is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not working no more. Mm-hmm. You don't know why. You don't want to let go.
Why?
Because you're thinking, well, maybe they're going through a phase, or maybe they're going through this, like dating relationships,
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're in that stage, and you're dating someone.
I'm waiting.
I'm just, you don't, it's hard to accept it.
Accept what?
It not working.
Why?
Because
why?
if you're really liking somebody, you really grooving with them, and this person checks off all the boxes.
Mm-hmm. They're not checking off all the boxes.
Well,
if it's not working.
Well, maybe if it's not, they're not checking off the boxes because they're not meeting your standards, but they're not checking off the boxes because maybe they haven't healed with something, and that's affecting the relationship.
But it's not working.
Yeah.
But it's not working.
Yeah.
But it's not. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
You said why? It's not working.
How do you know? Okay, so for women that are dating, because my point of view is different when I'm thinking of marriage.
I think I've become a serial dater.
How do you think, my point of view,
Jesus,
my point of view is going to be different because I don't want anybody treating a dating relationship like a marriage, because marriage is different than just dating.
I've never been married.
It's different than just being in a long-term relationship. It's different. If you tie in marriage and then you believe in God and you have a relationship with God, that walk away is a challenge, because you can want to walk away because you don't like who they are in this season. Marriage
is a commitment.
It's a commitment.
It's compromising. It's, you don't have you shouldn't.
Yeah.
People do, but you shouldn't be so quick to walk away from it. It's to death do you part.
Right.
You take those vows.
Right.
And it is a commitment. It is the highest form of commitment. So it is viewed differently.
Yeah.
Relationship, it's just a relationship.
Yeah.
And my thing is this, and I say this, no pun intended. I'm not being hard. I'm not, if it ain't working for me, it ain't working.
Yeah.
I am not going to spend any time with anything that is not working. I'm not ready to hold on to it. I'm not ready to make excuses for it. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I don't have the time and I don't have the energy. Not in the space that I'm in right now.
Right.
My thing is this, is my biological clock is not ticking.
Right.
I've had 2 kids, 48 years old. I have a job, I have an apartment, I have my own. If it's not working, I'm not holding on to it.
Right.
I don't have a need to. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. Now, have I before? Yes. I'm not telling you that I'm perfect. I'm not telling you that I've not done it. I'm not telling you that it's, it doesn't happen. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is I'm not going to hold on to something. I know in the first 3 months where this is going.
Yeah.
And that's because of the previous experience that I've had. Not only the previous experience that I've had, where I'm at now,
right,
who I am now. I have no interest to entertain something that I don't think is working.
Yeah.
So it's just the path that I chose.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I am so okay. I told you before, I am so comfortable in my skin, honey. I can go home and not, right now, I haven't talked to a guy in 3 weeks. I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I meet him. We talk on the telephone. My whole thing now is, I probably won't even date you now for at least 3 weeks. Three
start going on
before we're gonna literally talk on the telephone for at least 3 weeks to a month, 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm gonna have to see what we got going on first. You know what I'm saying? Before I invest my time in going out with you on a date. I want to.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, it's a free dinner, it's a free lunch. It's my time and I don't want to waste it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
In order for me to date right now, I'm gonna have to see like what we got going on by phone. How is the temperament? Because one thing I've learned is consistency. You can see it. You can hear it
by a phone conversation.
Yeah, I don't have to see you in person to see how you move.
Right.
I can see how you call me at night. I can see what your conversation is about. Time.
Yeah.
Time is on my side right now.
Yeah.
Do I desire to be married? Yes. If I don't, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it either way.
Right.
If I do, if I do. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
But time is on my side.
Yeah.
So I don't have no time to rush. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
You avoid confusion too.
Yeah.
Because we're flesh.
Celibacy.
We're flesh.
Celibacy.
You can be talking on the phone to a guy, he seems cool, and you might be thinking, he all right, but he ain't really doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see the guy in person, that's my husband. That's my husband. You know, like we're flesh.
Yes, we are.
We're flesh, and sometimes our flesh rule.
Yes.
You know, when you doing it that way, you're allowing your spirit to be in control.
Yes.
Your spirit to tell you. You're allowing yourself to be able to discern certain things.
Yes.
When you get in front of a person and a certain person look a certain way, you smell a certain way, and you ain't had none in a while.
But you
have
that 4 weeks that you've talked to him, and it's like this is something. Something ain't right. That gut, a woman's intuition, is the greatest thing that God ever gave us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, a lot of women, we deny it. We make excuses for it. We make excuses for him.
Yeah.
Or we want him to be the way we thought he was. Or, we've got in our mind, we can change him.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do this and I can make him better.
Yeah.
Oh, I can say this and I can make him better. I can give him my Lulu and I can make him better.
Yeah.
You can't make nobody better.
That's a self thing.
That ain't got nothing to do with you. So I think my method has allowed me time to figure out who he is.
Yeah.
I'm not in a sexual orientation. I'm not doing a sexual thing because I understand that with sex with me becomes emotional for me. I'm unable to distinguish what's good and what's bad, what's real and what's not. So I take sex off the table. I'm not in a rush. Yeah. And I think as women we struggle with, I want to be married, 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 but you don't know the covenant of it. You don't know the sacrifices that you have to make. You just want to say you're married because Karen, your homegirl, is. You want to say you're married just to say you have a husband, and you don't care what he's doing. You don't care that he's treating you right. You don't care that he doesn't have a job. You don't care that he has 10 babies. You don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want that. If I have to be in a marriage, if I have to choose between being married and being unhappy versus being unmarried and being happy, having my peace, I'll choose the latter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I often wonder where me and my sister cursed. My sister's unmarried and never been married. And she has no desire to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good or bad when we think like that. Like, do you think it's bad that we don't desire to be, that we don't care if we do, if we don't? Do you think that's a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that, like anything that we desire, it comes from our childhood. It comes from what we've seen, what we've experienced. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that you might have seen marriage and seen what all consumes of marriage. The sacrifice, the compromise, what a wife may go through, and gotten to a point to where you're like, I'm okay if I don't have that.
Right.
Because sometimes marriage, you're not happy.
Right.
You have moments where you're not happy, and one would think, oh, you're married, you have a spouse, this should be perfect. If you're married and you got this should be a perfect relationship. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with another person 24/7. They're healing. They have their own trauma. They have their own thing. So you might have seen marriage and be like, the marriages I've seen, the relationships I've been a part of, I'm okay if I don't have a man with me for the rest of my life. I'm okay with this because, hell, I don't even know if I can do that.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot. It requires a lot of you. It's a lot of sacrifices. It's a lot of going without sometimes. Marriage is a challenge. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. I look at it like when God calls you to do things, it's never easy.
No.
It's never easy. It's never easy. Think about Moses. Moses had a speech impediment. He didn't want to talk. He had speech impediment. and he wanted him to take his people to the promised land. You know, like when he requires something of you,
it's really big. Huh?
It's big.
Yeah.
And marriage is something that that's big.
Yeah.
And it is something that God ordains. The original way was no divorce, and in the Bible it says, "What God has put together, let no man break apart." So there's no out when you look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know, of course, if you're being abused and things like that, there are certain things like abuse, but even with adultery, God says, I can change somebody's heart. God want to push you to accept those things or deal with those things that you say you don't ever want to deal with. You know, and it's a challenge. It's okay. Don't look at me. But no, it's not a bad thing. What has this journey taught you about expectations?
I don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Not towards people.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations of myself.
Mm-hmm.
It has most definitely taught me to expect the best from me.
Mm-hmm.
That I can do it, that I can achieve it no matter how hard it is. But to have expectations of someone else,
Mm-hmm.
my journey consists of just me.
Mm-hmm.
My journey is focusing on me.
Mm-hmm.
My journey is my travel.
Yeah.
My journey is how I look at things.
Mm-hmm.
My journey is me learning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never about people. It's never about, what I think or how I feel about other people.
Yeah.
Or what my expectations are. I have absolutely no expectations.
Yeah.
And I think that's why my life is so peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
I only expect to grow.
Yeah.
I only expect to learn. I only expect to give.
Mm-hmm.
I only expect to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
My expectations of myself are to be great.
Yeah. I think so far it's taught me, and this may change, it's taught me to not have any expectations.
Yeah.
And to live life hopeful.
Yep.
Not even with myself, because while doing this podcast and just this year in general, I've been really trying to fast, do a spiritual fast. I've been really trying, and every time I fail. And I would be so hard on myself. And I'm because I know I can do it. I've done it before. Last year I was able to fast, no problem. I know I can do it because I've done it before. But this year I wasn't able to do it. Not saying that I won't be able to, but I wasn't able to do it the way I wanted to. Right. And I was so hard on myself because I am building a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm letting God down and I'm letting myself down. But then God said to me, this is what the devil wants.
Yeah.
He knows you're going to be hard on yourself. He knows that if you are expecting yourself to do it, and you don't give yourself the grace to not do it, to not meet your expectations, you are going to spend so much time and focus beating yourself up because you wasn't able to do it. And he knows that you're going to do that.
What I will say is this, Stephanie. It's nothing wrong with, I remember my first fast. It was the hardest fast I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was hard because it was the first fast I've done.
Yeah.
But I think fasting teaches discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches you your strengths.
Right.
It teaches you your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
The first fast that I did, I did not falter.
Mm-hmm.
I did not falter because I was determined
Mm-hmm.
that I would stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
I was determined that I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed myself to the extreme, and that's me in life.
Mm-hmm.
If I got my eyes set on it, I'm gonna take it down, and I can promise you that I'll stay the course of it. However, the second fast that I did, I didn't do so well.
Yeah.
And what I would do is, for every time I failed, I added 2 more days on it. But I would not give up.
Yeah.
And I think the fast ended up, it started out a 21-day fast. The second fast ended up being a 21-day fast. It ended up being 3 months for me before I actually got it right.
Yeah.
But I never gave up.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's how I am in general. Through this podcast, I have wanted to throw in the towel several times. I wanted to say, I give up, I quit. But my determination will not allow me to do that, because I don't want to look back on my life and say, I regret not doing that. I have to do it with my best ability.
Yeah.
So I said that to say this. Don't look at it as you couldn't do it. Don't look at it as you failed. Don't look at it like that. Don't ever give up. Even if you set it out, you say, I'm going to try 3 days. You tried in 3 days. You take off 2 days. And you find a rhythm that suits Stephanie. And you keep pushing and you keep trying until you get to where you need to go. And in the process, you keep praying. You keep giving. You keep asking. You keep knocking. You keep it. You keep to the course.
Yeah.
Don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I do believe what is the more, there is no other perfect combination than God and you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any better than that. So with anything, anything can be accomplished.
Yeah.
With that, anything can be accomplished.
Yeah.
You just have to stay the course.
Yeah.
Fasting is not hard. Excuse me, fasting is hard. It's not an easy task.
Right. It's not.
It is most definitely very difficult, because you're pushing your body to do something that it wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's a very, very difficult task. So you just have to learn to find that rhythm.
Yeah. I think I just had a revelation, because I am a disciplined person. I know how to be disciplined. It's not an issue for me to be disciplined. And just like you, when I want something, I know how to go after it. I think I'm giving the devil too much credit.
Yes.
What God wants me to see is that how quick I'm able to give up, because I've been to where I want to give up on my marriage. I've been there to where I just want to give up. And I think that's the point of this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not able to do it, is because God is shining a light on that I'm giving up.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to have community and have conversations like this, because so you can have a revelation. Sometimes, all the time, God is not going to just say it just like that.
No.
He's going to do this.
God.
He's going to do this.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
You got your door like this. God is
what you got to say? Can you explain it to me?
You wait 100 years.
Because he's not going to say it like how we understand it. You know, he's not.
He sins.
Yeah, he sins. I was listening to Matthew, the book of Matthew, and I was just listening to the Bible while I was doing things, and I was listening to the parable about the sower, and I was like, you know, oh man, it sounds like I'm thorny grounds. It sounds like I'm thorny grounds, and it's like, okay, what do you want me to do? How do I stop it? What do I do? But sometimes God just wants you to know a thing.
Yeah.
He wants you to recognize it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about doing nothing.
Yeah. It's like, why do we always feel like we're waiting on God to say something before we can move? Sometimes you just needed to hear it. Yeah. You know, maybe you're hearing it right now for something that you'll face 2 years from now, 2 months from now. You never know. You know, we sit and wait and thinking that we're going to actually hear it. And I'm not saying that you won't.
Or something I dealt with in the past.
Yes.
You know?
My always hearing him is through somebody else.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I just asked him that.
Yeah.
You know, God just had a conversation last night. And then Blake or Mom or Kim says something. I'd be like, I just asked God that 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting, listening, I'm always still.
Yeah.
Always still. Fasting is something that I absolutely have to put my mind to, because it seems like when I start to fast, I crave everything that I never craved before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, when did I start craving that?
It's like something's like a burger, French fries, chicken wings.
Is it okay?
Yeah. It's okay.
PTSD.
I know, it's okay.
But yeah, you craving. It's like you crave for things, and then in it we're thinking that it's Satan. Oh, we're thinking that the devil's behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're thinking that no. Sometimes it's just we greedy.
Mm-hmm. And we do give the devil to. He does not have the ability to create. He does not have the ability. He's not in your thoughts. He may know how to. He may know when something's going to trigger you, but he's not omnipresent. He's not God.
Right.
You know, he's not God. He has limitations.
Absolutely.
God does not. And I think we do give him too much credit.
Absolutely.
One thing we do in this podcast, there is not an episode that God is not mentioned.
You know what? I noticed that when I went back to watch them.
God is always mentioned.
You know, and that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because my journey with God has been a rough journey.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a complicated journey.
Mm-hmm.
It has been hard for me.
Yeah.
You know, I say all the time, I reference all the time, I look back in the sand and I only see one set of footprints.
Yeah.
And the footprints that are present are not mine.
Mm-hmm.
They are of God.
Mm-hmm.
Because those were the times that He carried me.
Mm-hmm.
My walk with God has been complicated.
Yeah.
It's full of questions.
Yeah.
And trials and tribulations, and God knows I do not look like what I've been through, and that's a beautiful thing. But
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I most definitely will never do is give Satan any authority, any presence,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't get any credit. I don't even include him when things are going bad. I don't even say, "Oh, Satan behind me." I don't even recognize him like that.
Yeah.
I merely just say, "This is an off day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get up tomorrow and I'll try something different." He's never in the forefront of my mind.
And God says to ignore the devil.
Yeah,
He says to ignore him. So
I don't.
that's perfect.
Yeah, I don't. And when I walk into the fast, you know, I am literally. I got my mind where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Do I falter sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand it, I recognize it, and I understand that I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just flesh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
will I have my falls? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Will I stumble a bit? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a part of me growing.
Yeah.
I'm still living. I'm still growing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know, another thing I learned is that my flesh was. A lot of my desires was coming from flesh.
absolutely.
Like a lot of my desire to just things that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it came from my flesh, like
Absolutely.
fleshly desires.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, my desire. I mean, flesh was just winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was, and it made me sit back and change some things and be more conscious of my purchases, conscious of the things I decide to do, conscious of just in general when I wake up, caused me to be very conscious because I recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what this represents, recognizing your faults. Look back, take a moment, take a second to look back. That's why we're taking the break.
Mm-hmm.
To take a moment to
And
look
reflect.
back and reflect,
Mm-hmm.
see what we want to do differently, what we want to change, what we want to keep. Just a moment to reflect. That is so important. We move so quickly. Time does move, and time also does not wait for no one.
Mm-hmm.
But rushing is not going to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
You have a day where you will meet your maker, and rushing is not going to make that day any sooner. So why not take your time?
Mm-hmm.
Take the time you need to figure things out. Take the time you need to figure out is this the person it, or is this person it or not? Should we be friends or not? Should I stay at this job or not? Take the time to figure out what you need to figure out. Don't feel in a rush. Don't feel anxious.
Be anxious for nothing.
Yep.
Be anxious for, that was the hardest thing for me, was to calm my soul and be present right where I'm at. I don't think about what's happening tomorrow. Today is a burden in itself. I can't focus on that.
Yeah.
I am not anxious for anything.
Yeah.
What happens in this moment is the only thing that I'm focused on. Everything else could fade away.
Yeah.
I'm anxious for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not anxious for a husband. I'm not anxious for a job. I am so present that I'm so serene. I'm so peaceful. I am just living, Stephanie, in a place where I'm just comfortable. I am. My worry is not tomorrow. You know, I'm not anxious about what will come. When it comes, it comes. And if it doesn't, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't.
And it took hard work to get there. I think even sometimes for myself, you know, I would think about you and I would think, oh, Valentine, she can go do this if she wants to. She can go buy her some Chanel if she wants to. She can go buy her some real jewelry. She ain't got to go to Walmart, Target, Amazon. She can go do certain things that she want to do. She can, and it's not out of envy. It's just a knowledge of knowing of she can go and do things that I cannot do. But then I always remind myself the reason why it's not envy, because I say, well, she had to work damn hard just to get there. So yeah, she damn right better be able to do that. It didn't come easy. It didn't come easy. So I can never be envious of you, because I know that where you are didn't come easy. You're not just sitting here like a kid with a silver spoon in your mouth, looking down at the world. Where you are took hard work, took crying, took pain, took bleeding, took financial loss, took financial lessons.
You better talk about it.
Took some, postpartum depression. Episode 6, having the folks called on you. It took embarrassment, feeling shame, going through the bad relationship to get to where you are now. It took a lot. It took a lot. And sometimes people just see you and they might think, like you say at the time, some people say, oh, Valentine got it all together.
I got it all together.
Valentine had to work damn hard to get it all together.
Let me tell you something. Come step aside here. Let me tell you what this journey I've been on.
Valentine had to work damn hard to get where she is right now.
Let me tell you something. You can look at this picture right now, but I'm telling you, I don't look like what I've been through. God, thank you. Thank you. What you see, I'm not even a finished product. I'm merely here. But that's the thing, Stephanie. We so often look at people and want to be where they're at, but we don't want to take that ride. We don't want to get in that car and ride from the beginning to the end, because we don't want to go through the hard. We don't want to go through the struggle. We don't want to go through that. We just want to be the finished product, and you cannot. I can't be Valentine without my past. I just can't. It doesn't work like that. You know, I wouldn't change a thing. I absolutely would not. I was one of my girlfriends when we talked Monday. She asked me if I had to change anything, would I change? Nope. Because any little dent, my story would have been different. And I don't want my story to be different. I don't want to be anybody but Valentine.
I think we want to do things different when we don't like the way our story's going. You know, like, when we don't like the place that we're at, that's when we're like, I will do something different. Because I've had this conversation with my sister, And I think it's our age, you know.
Yeah.
We both had kids young. I had my child when I was 19, and I can say, oh, I wish I would have finished college. I wish I would have went ahead and became a nurse before I did this. I can say, I wish. I did not. I feel like when I get older, as I age, and as I learn and I look back, I'm gonna say, you know what? It happened how it should have happened.
It happened how it should have happened.
It happened how it should have happened.
You know, it does, and I trust the calculation of it. You know, I trust that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. You know, and that's it. You know, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, looking through, you know, even starting from March when we had our first episode to when we look back on it now, I can see the change in me from being that scared person starting out to now, where I'm a little bit more confident. You know, I'm a little bit more aware. You know, I know how to, you know, hold my body or not, you know. So even in the process, I'm able to look back and see that even if it's little change, it's still change. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll get better. I'll get stronger. You know, the podcast will evolve. We'll grow together. We'll learn together. But more importantly, we'll give together. You know what I'm saying? And that is the most important thing when you look at the grand scheme of things. I want to be able to give. I want you to be able to see me, and me be able to give you something. Something of my life that you can use as a blueprint. So
I've seen my growth too. From the first, from me filming the first time to like now, I've seen growth. I've seen growth in myself. So, and that's important.
Absolutely.
It's important to grow.
Yes.
It's important to grow. If I wasn't growing and I was stagnant, I was the same, I probably would say, you know what, I shouldn't be doing this. Because it's not benefiting me in a way where I'm growing. You know, like we're not just having these conversations for the camera. We're having a conversation, but it's like having therapy amongst each other. You know, we're having this conversation, but at the same time, I'm walking away and I'm taking something away from it, which is what I hope the viewers do. I hope that as they're listening, they're taking away. Even when we were scared, you know, when we first started filming and we were unsure and we didn't know how to posture ourselves and to see that the dirty, you know, like take from that. I hope that is something for you. That you can take away something from that. So I've grown. I am growing. I'm excited about season 2.
I'm excited about
season 2. I'm excited that we did it. We finished the season.
Yes!
We did it.
We
finished the season.
Yes.
We did. Yes. So I'm excited.
I'm excited about season 2 as well. We're looking at bringing season back in January, February. We'll keep you posted. You have content to look back on. We have many episodes. Go back and watch. Live happy. You know, hold yourself accountable. Know who you are. Know where you're at. But more importantly, give from deep down. Support us. We're getting it out of the mud. You know, we are
thugging it out.
Thugging it out.
West side. That's the West Coast.
Don't make me get up and crit walk. But you know, go back, watch us, subscribe,
like, share, and subscribe.
Enjoy
the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Life is short.
It is. Gosh, you took the words out of my mouth. We're thinking alike.
Yes.
Life is short.
Very short.
The people that are around me are dying, heart attacks and aneurysms and strokes, and we are not promised tomorrow. Live, give, love, love.
Be kind.
Yes.
Give grace.
Yes.
Be kind.
Yes.
Give grace.
Yes.
Be kind
Yes.
to yourself. Be kind to one another.
Yes.
Be kind to another sister. If you see another sister out there and she looks like a struggle, be kind to her. Give her a compliment.
Yep.
You don't know what she's going through, what her day is like, what her bank account looks like. You don't know what she's going through, what she has, and what your compliment can do for her.
Just that brief moment.
Yes, just a simple, you look good today.
Yep.
I hope you have a good day today. Hey, how you doing? Whatever, be kind. You never know how far your kindness can go.
And you don't know how you could change people just in that moment with saying something nice, being kind. We love you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for supporting.
Yes.
We'll see you in January.
2024.
2024.
2024.
Oh, we didn't say 4 all year. We'll be 24 and 4 journeys.
24 and 4 journeys.
24 and 4 journeys. We're going to make y'all. We're going to make a rap video for y'all.
We're going to make a rap video. That's it right there. That means some good coming. Some good coming. Bye.